but yeah, so we have a conversation between Barton and Fury, and for some reason I never understood why Fury doesn't really understand this bit, but Barton has to kind of explain to him that the Tesseract is essentially a doorway. Well, he says it's a doorway to the other side of space, and the door's
How do
open
they
from both
know that
sides.
though?
Well, I feel like that. I thought that was kind of intuitive, no, for in terms of it's kind of the point of the Tesseract. It's the
Well,
Space
no, but
Stone.
that's what we know. We know it's the Space Stone,
Yeah, we
but
do
from
now,
what they
yeah, but
know, the Red Skull touched it and he disappeared. He could have been vaporized, considering that Tesseract-powered weapons in World War II vaporized people.
I
Considering what we see
suppose.
him do later, he might have been vaporized.
Well, we know it because of Endgame, he is not vaporized, but from what Cap would have
Dude,
explained to them, yeah, the Red Skull picked it
floating
up
ghost.
and
He is a ghost,
beam.
yeah, that's true.
He's a floating ghost. He could easily have been obliterated.
Maybe everything
Is
but his
he a
head was
ghost?
vaporized, and it's just his head is just in that cloak floating around.
Is it?
No, I'm joking. I don't know. I mean, like he
I mean,
obviously is different in Endgame to what he is in First Avenger.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
they
lack,
very
lack
clearly
of
did not.
legs was the first hint.
Yeah, they very clearly did not have. I don't think at this point they had Endgame in mind.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. I'm not saying that they had Endgame in mind, but the point is that from their perspective, especially Cap, because Cap's unfrozen and it must have reported what happened. From Cap's POV, Red Skull just grabbed the fucking cube, beam of light, Skull literally vanished before his eyes. We know he got teleported to fuck, what's the name of the planet? Where the fucking Soul Stone is. But from Cap's perspective, he could have just been vaporized like all his weapons worked at the time.
My understanding is I don't know if he because I was always under the impression Skull did die there and he's kind of like some kind of ghostly apparition in when he's on that planet because well
He is the
why
guardian of
otherwise why
Soul
would he
Stone.
be in yeah why
Well,
would he
that's the
be involved with the Soul Stone otherwise?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. We have it recontextualized in Infinity War that the Tesseract is a casing for the Space Stone. So, because the Space Stone teleports, we can understand what happened to Skull.
So in this case,
It's
then,
a retcon.
why is Barton the first person to figure out that? Well, not
Yeah.
to figure out, but why
The
does he
doors
know?
open both ways.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
why
that's
is
my
he?
This
question.
this
How
was
does he
this
know
was
that?
our first hint that everyone in the MCU was a total fucking retard.
Pretty
Yeah,
much. Well, yeah.
in the sense that no one else knows.
Well, not
Well,
only that,
if you
how
open
the
a door to B, yeah, doesn't that mean the B can come through? Oh my god.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
but that's another stupid thing. How the fuck do you make the Tesseract open a portal from the other end
Well, no, but I don't think they
without the
did. I think we're
Tesseract?
supposed to assume Loki
In
did it.
Loki's case, it's easy. He had the Mind Stone.
Yeah.
But why would the Mind Stone make the fucking Tesseract open a portal?
Well, it
You
obviously
want to
has
get
The
some
stuck
kind
Mind
on?
of.
Stone is encased.
You want to get stuck on that? I've got a much better question for you. So
Go on.
Thanos specifically recruits Loki to go to Earth to get the Tesseract.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, he gives him the scepter. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Loki, being Loki, smart and devious as he is, must realize that one of these two items is, in fact, one of the Infinity Stones.
Well, that depends on how much Loki
I
knows about
don't.
the Infinity
There's
Stones at
no.
all.
Yeah.
I mean, what
The
does he think the scepter is?
I don't know that he knows
a
what does
weapon?
is it common knowledge for everyone in like space that the Infinity Stones exist and
It,
what they are and everything like
It
that?
I
would.
feel
It
like
wouldn't.
at one point
Considering what we see in Ragnarok, it wouldn't even matter. Odin has a fake Infinity Gauntlet in his trophy room. Loki would absolutely know.
That's true, yeah.
But that would also mean that Loki wouldn't
Also, he
consider either
encounters
of
like
those.
he
But that's the
encounters
thing.
like four
If
of them in
Odin,
his first four MCU appearances.
to
Like
to be
Loki
fair,
is kind of
Odin
the Infinity Stone expert.
Dake, it
Odin
makes
is
no
also
sense because
prone.
if Odin has a fake Infinity Gauntlet, Loki would not assume that either of those two items are Infinity Stones because he would think they're in Odin's fucking
No,
Oh
chest.
because
no, no,
the
no,
Infinity
no,
Gauntlet is
because you
empty.
don't you don't see the gems on the gauntlet. Like it's
Yeah.
just an
Yes,
empty
they
one.
are. They are on the gauntlet.
On
No, no,
Odin's
what?
one?
The fake one?
Yeah,
What?
yeah, yeah,
Are they?
Is that right?
yeah,
I need to look this up.
yeah. You can look it up.
I do think that I'd bring up that Odin has been known to keep some secrets.
Oh
I
wow,
like
you're
I
right.
like that if I remember correctly, I like it's actually the other hand as well.
Yeah,
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 it's
it
the
is.
left.
Yeah, and you are
The
right,
yeah,
Leo.
it's the right hand.
The gems are on it.
Okay, but either way, fake or not, and it is obviously all fake, Loki would be aware of the existence of the Infinity Stones. And he
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
actively
but
and
he would think
knowingly
they're all
serving
in
Thanos.
Odin's. But that's the thing. He would think that Odin has all of them, so he wouldn't assume neither the Tesseract or the Scepter would be any of them.
To
I
be
don't
honest,
know,
I
man.
think this is a
Two items of that kind of level of power. Yeah, like okay, it doesn't matter. We're getting bogged down in the weeds here.
Mjolnir.
Let's move
no, but
on.
I think this is a huge. This is like more of a huge issue for Thor Ragnarok. It was a terrible, terrible idea to put that fake Infinity Gauntlet in the film.
Oh, yes, it was. That
So
was
like,
absolute foolishness.
what
It's
actually,
actually Thor what as well in the background. You could see it.
if it's in Thor 1, then that's really poor from them. But
That's why
it's
I'm saying Loki would know of the infinity. If Loki does
yeah.
know of the Infinity Stones, he would think they're in Odin's chamber of fucking secrets because he saw the fake gauntlet with the stones in it.
Well, then
And
if
then he
it's
has the Tesseract on a very more secure, fucking under more lock and key place than the Infinity Stones and the gauntlet. So
but
he would think the Tesseract might be stronger than the Infinity Stones because of that,
yeah.
if he were to
Maybe.
look into it.
If even outside, because I don't know if I buy that Odin having that gauntlet means Loki knows. I don't know. Do you, because like I said,
Well,
Odin has kept secrets.
yeah, but in the
Well,
Thor
Loki and
movies,
Thor go there multiple times.
Loki makes a point of knowing more about the lore than Thor does.
Yeah, and the other thing is that
He has made a specific study of, well, studying it.
the other thing is as well that in this film we find out that Loki was given ancient knowledge by Thanos in order to better prepare him to carry out this task for him. So
And
we can only
the only
assume,
thing the only thing that can mean has to be control of the scepter because he doesn't do anything else.
Yeah, he doesn't
yeah.
use the scepter for mind control of any kind besides tapping somebody and brainwashing them. But he could just think that it's a brainwashing scepter. Because if
Yeah,
he knew that was the Mind Stone, he would just break the casing and use the Mind Stone directly.
So this
Well,
is the problem we have is that we
that's
have
what I
to
was getting at. Like, is this not a really bad idea on Thanos' part? Like,
Yeah, it's a
it
very stupid idea
You
on
know
Thanos'
Loki
part.
to be Loki. You're giving him one stone to send him in search of another when
Yeah, you just
there's
gave
at
him two
least one
stones.
more on Earth. Like there were three on Earth in during the events of Avengers at least.
so we
Yeah,
have to
Time Stone, Mind
simultaneously.
Stone, Space Stone.
So is Thanos just a fucking retard? Where he gives the most likely betrayer in the Marvel universe an
That's the other
Infinity
problem.
Stone
Well,
to
that's the
chase an
thing.
Infinity
Thanos at the
Stone
time doesn't
on a
know he has
planet
a
where there's
betrayer.
another Infinity Stone? I
He actually
mean,
doesn't even just give him an Infinity Stone. He gives him the Infinity Stone that is most appropriate for Loki's character in the sense that it's the
Yeah,
most
tricks
manipulative one
mind.
yep,
potentially.
true,
So
true.
it's actually probably the most foolish thing that he could do. But this is the problem we have is that we now simultaneously because of other films and the sort of background things that they've included in their own set design and stuff like that, we have to now assume that Loki simultaneously does know about the Infinity Stones and also doesn't know about them, because otherwise,
and somehow can't infer that this weird magic scepter that does all the things the Mind Stone would do might possibly be it.
yeah.
Thought never apparently never crosses his mind.
From the leader of the Chitauri, which is under Thanos' heel.
Yeah, the guy who's obsessed with finding the. Nope, it's okay. Total coincidence.
I mean,
Well,
yeah, you know what the funny thing I just thought of? What if Thanos handed it to him because he was like, there's no way he'd ever think I'd actually hand him the Mind Stone.
yeah, that's a
It's
giant
no, it's not
inference,
an excuse.
though.
It's just something funny that I thought of.
It would be
But that's
funny
the thing.
because it
Why
would.
would Thanos? Hold on. Why would Thanos even consider giving the scepter to anybody and not just ripping out the Mind Stone?
That's a great question.
I mean,
Uh,
I think he
that
probably
yeah,
assumes that it's the best way of ensuring that the task is
doing.
completed successfully.
Why?
Why
He can
wouldn't he
just
just
no. Hold
use the
on. He
Mind?
just uses the Mind Stone and mind controls his fucking servants better. They cannot
No,
betray
no,
him anymore.
no. He uses the Mind Stone to then just have the Earthlings give it to him.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
he can literally. He
And
he
then
has
go
the
do the
Mind
same thing
Stone.
for the Power Stone and the
yeah.
Reality Stone.
Yeah, exactly.
But
The
guys,
only
then we
thing
wouldn't
problem
have
we
an
have is Soul
MCU.
Stone there.
Yeah, this is the. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a kind of issue with the Infinity Stones in general. They are very, very powerful things to include in your films, and it
And
requires an
I
But
don't
awful lot
think
of
to kind of like
legislation.
bring us back to the movie, how like first of all, Barton shouldn't even know that it's a door.
Yeah.
Second of all, how do you activate the space stone that's encased in the Tesseract from the other side?
Well, I think we're supposed to
Considering the
assume that
other side can be
Loki.
well,
literally
you
everywhere.
don't, someone else does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Loki activated it,
Yeah,
or
Loki.
someone
How the fuck
activated it
did
for
Loki
Loki.
open it?
Yeah, so maybe someone else, someone activated it for Loki, as in like Thanos or the Chitauri
How?
guy or whatever. I don't know, but I don't think we're
I
supposed to
think
assume the humans did.
I think the simple explanation is they probably didn't have the mechanics or even really know necessarily what they wanted to do with the stones yet down.
Yeah.
I'll be even more generous than that. Is it insane to think that possessing a stone might give you a vague intuition of where one another one might be?
Potentially.
That is a strong inference, but that's the thing. Loki doesn't even know that the scepter is a stone. Because if
Yeah,
it
that's the
did,
thing.
he
It
would
helps.
do way more malicious shit.
The idea helps Thanos, but it weakens Loki even further. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it weakens Loki as well because if he knew and he hasn't used the Mind Stone, he's also as retarded as Thanos.
Well, Loki is pretty retarded in this movie.
In this movie,
Yeah.
no. Well,
He is
I can make a few
simultaneously
arguments as to
retarded and
why,
not retarded.
but he's still pretty smart.
I
He does
watched
some
through
smart
this.
things.
I watched through this the other night with a mutual friend of ours who isn't here, so I won't name him. But there is some evidence to suggest that Loki might be under the evidence, not under the evidence. What am I saying? Under the influence of the Mind Stone himself, at least for a goodly chunk of the movie.
That would I would be interested in. Yeah, I'd like to hear what
I would
you
like to hear but
I
do
assume
bring
we'll
them
get
up
to the
when they.
examples you're talking about.
Yeah, but so far there's no explanation or rhyme or reason as to why you would be able to turn on the Tesseract from the other side, considering the other side can be literally anywhere.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
it is a bit of an issue.
Yeah,
he's
that's like me being in the middle of the desert and opening up a portal because I have a portal machine at home
Yeah.
and I have no remote or anything to like
are
connect
you
me to.
are you doing it while you hold one of the 6 Infinity Stones that control all of the universe?
But that's the thing, I don't know I have that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Does does that necessarily matter?
Well, yeah, because if I
If you're
don't know I
handed
have the
Well,
key
no,
to.
hear me out for a second. If you're handed Magic Stick by your new evil boss and told Magic Stick will get you to X place and it will do Y thing. I
But that's
mean,
not in the movie.
I
Like
mean
they don't tell him you can control
a
the.
Well,
whole load of stuff that would have explained this movie isn't in the movie.
that
So
technically is
it's
in the
still a
movie.
problem.
It's just in the form of a monologue told by another character that isn't the two that you're referring to.
But that's the thing. Even in that monologue, there's no reference as to the scepter being able to interact with the tesseract.
No,
Well,
but we do get a reference
is it
later on.
necessarily the Tesseract that Loki is looking for, or is he deliberately trying to
Yeah.
hurt Thor when finding Selvig?
Well,
Yeah.
no, he is after the tesseract. It's just somehow he manages to will himself to have the Tesseract teleport him to it.
But we do know that the Tesseract um, can be affected by the scepter because of obviously the way that they close the portal in the end of the film
Yeah, but
is
that's
with the
because
scepter.
Selvig put in that safeguard.
Yeah, but he couldn't have possibly known the kind of mechanics of the scepter because there's no.
Yeah, but Loki didn't mind control himself.
Could it,
Like he
could it
didn't
be
tap himself with the scepter, did he?
could
No,
it be
but I think
something with the actual cube maybe that causes that to be
yeah,
like
that's the
could
thing. We
that the
don't know what
cube
the
be more
cube
than just
is.
space?
Yeah, that's the thing. We never find out. As far as I can remember, we don't know anything about the actual cube itself. More
All we know is
so,
that it's a casing that turns the space stone into energy.
yeah, which could
So
I mean,
I can believe maybe there's something with the case that allows this to be possible. That's the only like explanation that I can think of that really it plugs any of these holes at all. But even then, it's kind of shaky.
yeah.
A simple line that would have fixed this was apparently the every time the Tesseract spikes, it has something to do with the fabric of space.
I mean
Because we
that
have the
becomes
theory
evident
of
when,
wormholes.
but that becomes evident when Loki teleports into the room.
Well, no, but that would be like a setup line for it. It wouldn't be better. Like it's not much, but it's better than Loki just teleporting him like by sheer will and coincidence appears where the Tesseract is because the Tesseract decides to teleport Loki in. He could have teleported in Thanos.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that line would be a bit clunky though.
It would I think that's what they're trying to do with Barton's line where he says the door's open from both sides. That's kind of supposed to be setting up Loki obviously entering the room, but it's only slightly less clunky than the one that you just said.
But that's the thing, which would bring us back to why would Barton know that it's a door?
Yeah, and that's the problem. That's why it's clunky because Barton wouldn't have a clue. It shouldn't have a clue. And if anything, if anyone should
Nobody
be
should have
saying
a
that, it
clue.
should be Selvig or one of the scientists.
To be fair though, it's implied that this is Barton's regular post, so he could have
I
heard
guess.
people talking about it for however long. Like
But wouldn't that
when
increase security?
yeah, well, I mean, if you're working in a place day by day, you might not you might pick up a few things or hear a few things, and then have it. And like, oh wait, if it's a door, well, you can go
Yeah,
in
if
or
it's
out
a
of a
door,
door.
anything can come through, especially if they can open it from the side that doesn't have the thing opening the door or creating the door.
Well, but
Cthulhu, yo.
like I said, that's why I have to assume that the tesseract itself does more than just turn space stones, or just extract energy from the space stone. It has to be doing more than that.
Well, yeah, of
The
course,
case.
but we know that the characters don't. And that's the thing. We're using hindsight. Until Thanos cracked the Tesseract and
No, no,
revealed the
hang on,
Space
hang
Stone, we
on.
did not know.
We're not using hindsight. We're applying the retcons that the writers made to the universe.
Yeah.
They are
This
not the
is a
same thing.
problem of the further world building that happens later on. It's not necessarily hindsight. It's information that they have
It's not at
given
all
us by
hindsight.
choice. No, yeah, yeah,
It's something they chose to change, and it has had this knock-on effect.
Yeah.
yeah.